So we're going to talk about Tenstorrent. I said in DevOps, we're really going to have time to talk about Tenstorrent itself. When people talk about AI, they immediately jump to buying a GPU or setting it up with NVIDIA GPUs almost exclusively. I didn't know how to go, I didn't time all these out. So GPUs, not that great because they cost a lot. You have trouble even getting them. If you even talk to a vendor right now, you try to provision one in the cloud, it's usually not in. If you want to write specific code, you're usually locked into that vendor. And if you need to put GPUs in a data center, you almost have to remove an entire row of racks. So Tenstorrent, it shifted everything. So Tenstorrent is a RISC-V architectured GPU or PCI slot or enabled piece of hardware that you can plug in like this, the black hole. So it looks kind of like that with the, it looks almost just like a GPU. It plugs in and it has 28 to 32 gigabytes of memory, and you can actually use the QSFP to cable a bunch of them together. And we at work are using these as a partnership for a number of different things, some for edge compute and then some for private cloud for a bunch of people that have sovereign cloud needs. And when you use it, it's got these basic 5 layers. So you got the silicon layer, and then you've got the Metallium runtime, which if you like writing copy operators, it's really fun. And then you've got the TNN operator library, and then Forge. And then finally, what you would probably use is PyTorch on top of everything. So what you can do is with Tenstorrent, you can actually just set it up. It's very easy. It's a little Python or a shell script will install the driver, and then you can just load on PyTorch or Onyx, and then you can use it for just like this. You can just say open device, give it your tensor device. Who here has used PyTorch for NVIDIA GPUs, right? That's the exact same code, right? So almost a plug and play with the exact same code type. If you want to, you can actually build any of these models, any of these open source models. You can use it. We have pipelines internally that allow us to build them specifically for the Tenstorrent hardware because it's a different hardware model. So some of the models you'll have to build for that. And you can just use it just like you would any of the GPUs. So you can come up with a Tenstorrent base image. You can go ahead, run it in your pipelines, and then you're not going to be working on the kernel or anything like that. And once you actually scale it out and you put them in your data center, you can set them up as resources in your Kubernetes clusters to expose them out so that it can go ahead and schedule across these. If it sees a workload come in that is specific to Tenstorrent, it knows which machines or which pods have them. I actually have 2 workstations in my basement right now due to our partnership. I have to. And then you can use them on-prem, you can use them rack nodes, and they also have some cloud partners that have some setup that if you need to scale it out. And that's what a lot of it is for. You can have this on-prem private cloud where most of your traffic is handled, but you don't have to have everything there. You can still use the cloud for that last mile, expanding it out and running these inference workloads. And again, you wire it up just like you would anything else. If you're using an NVIDIA card, you would have all these different libraries that you're familiar with. They just now have the Tenstorrent, the TT import. They've got an upcoming investor conference. You can take one card, you can wire it up into multiple cards directly cabled to each other, and then you can take those racks of multiple cards cabled together and put those together. Watch their investor meeting that's coming up because they've done that at a scale that's very interesting. I can't actually say anymore. And then, yeah, so I don't know what I was trying to say here because it was going so fast. But yeah, mirror, measure, compare, decide. So you can run your pipelines to test this against your NVIDIA workloads and see how it compares. So if you have a target definition, you have a self-hosted runner that you're ready to use, you can go ahead and test this out. And if it doesn't work, just fall back to your existing plan using someone else's GPU, or you can use this. So again, if you're worried about total cost of ownership, if you can't find a GPU, if you can go ahead and you need to leverage this, go for it. If you're already in CUDA only, if you don't have any ML ops, if you don't really have a need for private cloud or edge, don't worry about it. But don't default to the GPU, consider Tenstorrent.
Let's hear it for Jared, folks.